Uh, Welcome guys to my how I made this poster series. This is something I'll be doing over and over now. Like I'll be dissecting some posters I made and I'll be showing you guys how you can make it too. So this is a poster I made for the popular Nigerian Pro League PUBG competition hosted by 10 and 80 in Nigeria. Yes. If you're a PUBG player, make sure to check them out today. The registration is still on and they have a very nice price pool. So let's get into it. This poster has some how will I put it? Some elements here, just not really something hard, but let's get to it. So each time I want to work, I always work with this 1080 by 1350 and 300 resolution. This 1080 by 1350 is the standard Instagram portrait. Yes, standard Instagram portrait size. And this 300 resolution will make sure that your work stays sharp and crisp. So each time I make, the first thing I always do is my margin. Come to view, new guide layout. I already have my guidelines, this margin that I'm always using. The reason being is that you don't want your work going too extreme to the margin to the top or left, because before posting there are some parts that will be cut off from the thumbnail. I don't know how to put it for you. If you are looking at the profile page, there are some parts that will cut off, so you just need this. And again, for the design to breathe, you cannot just start a design from the edge here. Doesn't make sense at all. So the first thing here, I'll link some files. I'll keep some files in the description for some of the files I use there, the ones that maybe you might not be able to download. So the first thing I do is to create a solid color layer. Yes, I don't use full black. I always use this. This is the color code 1D, 1D, 1D. Yes. Then the next thing is filter noise. I added noise to convert to smart objects. I just wanted to give it this kind of grainy feel. So the next thing is this image. This is the original poster I made. The color, I'll link this file in the description below. I'll link it below. This is the main background we are using. This is how it is without the guideline. But you know, since it's a PUBG event, I cannot just leave the background plain like this. And since we are working on a Nigerian based event, so I went on Gemini. I told it I need a black and white pattern line and style that will combine different elements representing Nigeria. The dimension should be 1080 by 1. I want to use this for an Esports poster, but I just need notable landmark and landmarks all combined into one image. So the reason why I wanted is that I wanted some element of Nigerian infused to the background, because the competition is just for Nigerians, so the Nigerian Pro League, yes, from the name. So I wanted some element of Nigeria infused into the background, so it gave me this image. So let's go ahead and place the image on our workspace. Let me look for it. Yes, this is the image. So you press enter. So normally I cannot use the image like this because now it's not going. So you change your blend mode from normal. I use subtract. Yes, this subtract made it have this kind of neon green thing that I like. But another thing is you cannot use it like this. Why? Because it's too dark. It's too, how do I put it? It's too prominent that if you put other element in it, it will steal the spotlight from it. So what did I do? I reduced the opacity. Let's try 20. 20 is too much. I think the sweet spot is 15. Okay, let's try 16. The reason why I just want it to be there, not too visible, but it should be subtle, so that thing to not make it look too flat. Understand what I mean? I don't want a flat background. I just want something that will make the background not too busy, but not just flat alone like that. So we have our background from the image here. We have this grid type thing. I'll attach it in the this thing. Let me just copy from here instead of going into the main file. So I have my grid, everything set now. So what I like to do is, since all these are same thing, I just group everything together, call it BG or background, anyone. It's done like that. So we have our background this is the background I'll be using because this is a tournament and we have to keep the same identity throughout that tournament. So we have this background that is set. I'll still be doing some other posters for the event and I'll be doing the cross section like this too. So we'll just be using this background throughout. This background will be constant for all our design. And another that I like to do is lock it so that I don't move it anyhow. I don't move it around or just move it out of place. It's okay like this. So the next thing I want to do is bring in my logos. So this is the logo. I'll just drag it from the original file and move it to where I want it. You see, that's why I have this guideline here to help me put the logos where I want them. Because when you are making some PUBG has their own guideline for making their posters. You have to follow their guideline while doing anything related to them. Each brand have their own brand guidelines. So you just have to follow that brand guideline. This is kind of PUBG standard. If you check any PUBG events, check their posters, you'll see that on all their posters, their logos are always in the top left, right. That type of arrangement. So we have our logos here now, all set. Yes, our logos are all set now. Coming. Then the next thing we want to do is another thing. Since all the logos are same thing, we do what? We group the logos. Control G. We name it logo. So since we will not be like moving this logo around and we don't want anything, maybe we are doing another thing, move the logo, we can lock the logo layer too. So the logo layer is locked. So from this thing, the next thing is we can see now is this rock. The rock too, I downloaded it off Pinterest and I'll link it below. I'll link it here. So here's the after removing the background and all. Downloaded it on Pinterest, yes. But you see one thing now, it's covering our logo layer and you don't want it like that. So you bring it in between the logo and background. Let's turn off this guideline first. If you look at it like this, the rock is too sharp. How will I put it? It's looking like it's just placed on it. It's looking disjointed, yes, from the background. So what I always do is sometimes you can blend it in with some brush, but what me I always do is I'll add a max. No, not a max, sorry. I'll add a gradient. Black. Make sure your foreground is black and your background is white. So gradient to give you this, this transparent to black. Just press OK. But now it's too dark. We don't want it like that. You can either do two things. You can either use a brush, but what I usually do is use my gradient tool. That's G. Just come here and make sure it's on this black to transparent too. From up here, hold shift so it's straight. Then you drag down. You see, that one will take away some of the black. So you just keep dragging because I want it to be uniform. That's why I'm dragging this way. So I think I'm good like this. Yes, now it's not too prominent. It makes number one, the logo is well defined. The logo is showing and the rock is not too sharp. So the next thing we'll do is add our image, this image. All images will be linked. I downloaded most of them on, you see, this is the original image here. So I just removed the background. You can just remove the background anyhow you add. But I have the one I've removed the background from here. So this is the image. You move it up, position it a bit. Let's bring the rock up too. It's nice this way. Yes, you have this one here. Let's bring it up a bit too. But one thing is the color. From this one now, you see I use black and white. Why that? I made it neutral so that because this one doesn't have one color, there's this kind of cream, or how will I put it, this kind of pastel color thing that is going on here. So what I just do is come here on your adjustment layer, black and white. But you see that all your workspace has turned to black and white. Just click here to clip max it to just this one alone. So you can group the two of them together and name it picture. Let's put a picture. So we'll come back to this one. Let's do the text. We'll come back here. So we have this registration is open. Nigerian Pro League season 9 playoffs. So let's start with the first text, that Nigerian Pro League season 9 playoffs. Then change the color to white. So the font I'm using for this is called Quedora. Yes, and I'm using the medium the medium variation for this. So you see Nigerian, Control A to selector, then I position it in the middle. Let's just leave this here first. Then we have registration is open. For this registration is open, I used this registration. Let's just type the registration is registration. The font I use is Agency FB, I think comp. Let's check. Yes. Then you increase the size, Control T. Let's make it like this. It's this same font I use for the open, so you can just Control J to duplicate, then you edit, open. This is the most prominent one of all. So leave it like this. I think it's good. Let's increase this to so it matches. Control T. The way I select is I hold Shift and click plus Shift and click. It will select the thing together. So Control T to transform. So you select all your text. What do you do again? You group them, make it text. So you know that anytime you want to edit anything from this text, you go into your text layer. From this poster now, you see that the text is behind the car. So what do? We bring the text layer below the picture. You see, it's already looking like it. So you just Control T, let's make it bigger. This is good. But from here, you see that the text is kind of having this perspective thingy right there. So normally, if you press Control T for a text, the perspective you won't be able to select it because it's not a smart object. I don't know why Photoshop is doing that thing. What I always do is I'll convert it to smart objects, then Control T, you right click, perspective. So you drag this one down. Yes, I think this one is okay like this. Let's do the same for registration, is convert to smart object, Control T, perspective. So I drag this one up. You see? So it gives it this kind of, you can reduce the size a bit, Control T, so it matches with this place. Yes. Check this one too. Matches like this. Some things you just need to do eye test. So for the Nigerian Pro League, I did not use a perspective for that one. What I just did was I simply rotated it like this. Just like this. See now, it's looking like it already. So let's bring it down a bit. It's too close to the logo. You have to let your design breathe. Give it room to breathe. Now, this is good. Look at this now. You see that there's this kind of light to it. So what I do is click on it, double click here to open layer style. So what I did at first was added a drop shadow. This is my drop shadow distance. Then outer glow. This is the settings I use. I use screen 35 opacity, 0 noise, the spread to 0, size to 29, range 50, jitter 0, and this is the color. This is the color code 00FF48 to make it. You see, it now has this, how would I put it, this kind of glow effect to it. So it's not that just plain flat. So what I'll do is I want to use that same effect on this registration and this Nigerian place. So just copy, right click, copy layer style, select the registration, select the playoff, right click and paste layer style. You see, looking like it already. So the next thing we have here is this rectangle and this register now. So what do? You create a rectangle. Just create a rectangle, give it black. Yes. So I come into my layer styles here again, gradient overlay. This is the gradient I'm using. uh just in dark green to another dark green. You see, this is the color code for the first green, 022403, and the other green is 022 DOE. That's the green I use. So it's not just, how would I put it? It's not just a flat green. Then I added stroke. Yes, this is the stroke I use. Gradient. You come here, your stroke might be on color, just put it on gradient, and you come under the green. This one is always there by default by Photoshop. So we are using this one here. No, not there, sorry. Yes, this is the one we are using. So just press OK. So you see the box, the rectangle is there already. But if you look at it here, it looks as this kind of perspective thing into it. So what do we do again? Right click, convert it to smart object, so we'll be able to like edit it. Then you Control T again, right click, perspective. So we want this perspective to come up like this. Then we want the space to be down. We drag it down. Then you press enter. You see, make it smaller if it is too big. Right click, to the perspective, the space is too out. Then it's okay like this. But if you notice on this first one, the tires is above this, so we need to bring it below this picture. This is it. So bring the rectangle below it here. You see, it's already, we can leave it like this, but I want it above this dacia. I want it above this dacia. Just this tire should be the one. So what I'll do is I select this thing, come here and click on object selection tool, and I'll just select just the tire. Auto select the tire. It might not be too perfect, but since I'm not really doing much, I just press Ctrl J to make it to bring the tire to another layer. Once you notice that, you see that all the other this thing, they've lost the black and white effect. So what I'll do is copy the black and white effect, Ctrl C on here, then Ctrl V, click alternate here, and you click clipping mask back. So this one will now be here. You see it now. See now that is under here now, because I duplicated the tire layer up. So the tire is above this rectangle. So the next thing we have is the register now text. Click on say, let's see for your text too. So register now. Control T to make it big. Yes. We are still using the Quedora board here. So you bring it here. Bring it on the rectangle layer here. So I think we are good. Then you what again? You right click, convert it to a smart object, so you'll be able to give it some perspective. So you Control T, perspective. You see, enter. I think this I'm liking this already. So you Control T, rotate it a bit. Sometimes you just need to rotate so it matches the. And I want it to have the same effect too. So you just right click, paste layer style. Remember, we copy that layer style from it. So you group this and the rectangle together. Just name it register. So you add the marks to it. Why am I adding a max? I want to blend this part, this place. I don't want it to just look flat. I want it to look like it's fading into the place. Click your gradient to G, then make sure it's on this black to transparent. Then just drag from outside in, drag outside in, drag outside in, drag outside in, drag outside in. Some people use brush. I just like gradient. So anyone that works for you works. So you can just Control C, bring it here, just to make it look more better. And that's it. That's how we made that poster. Very, very simple. Not really much doing. So you just save and you export it out. and by the time you are done, you have something like this. I think it's very, very close to what I did before, but that's just the idea behind it. I'll be dropping other videos on how I made some posters, and if maybe you saw a poster that I've made before and you want me to do like a this type of video for that poster, let me know in the comment section. So I want all you guys to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll be dropping more videos very, very soon. Thank you, and see you on the next one.